For the fifth day in a row, Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs add a big-time commitment in the 2026 class. They are on a roll right now, and as you should know by now, the commitments are coming in more and more, right? They are not done, and this time they add a commitment from four-star wide receiver Craig Dandridge. No surprise to anyone who's been following this channel, no surprise to any of our Dawg Post members. They saw this coming. This has been a guy that has been trending Georgia's way for a few months now, 3 months, 4 months. Georgia offered him in January. His recruitment blew up at the beginning of this year. He quickly climbed Georgia's board this spring. And over the past 3 months or so, Georgia has started to make him a big priority. And today they have landed his commitment. He's one of the best wide receivers across the South, in my opinion. He's Georgia's third receiver commitment in the 2026 class, joining four-star Ryan Mosley at Carrollton and four-star Brady Marchese over at Cartersville. Of course, Vance Spafford, the speedy wide receiver out in California, flipped to Miami a few days ago, but Craig Dandridge is an absolute baller, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. We're going to talk about why he committed to Georgia. Of course, he gave us some quotes. We're going to talk about what his coach had to say about him over at Cambridge High School, but this is a guy who lit up the stat sheet last year, was one of the more productive wide receivers across the state as a junior, caught 57 passes for 1,443 yards and 14 touchdowns. That is an average of 24.9 yards per catch. So when he has the ball, good things happen. Around 6'1", 175 pounds, he is one of the faster receivers in the state. He is explosive, but in my opinion, it's his ability to get open and create separation. He is a natural route runner. That's what I love most about his game. He is dangerous after the catch. He's tough to corral. He can outrun defenders, but his ability to get open and still make a tough catch too. He's got great hands. There's so much to like about his game. And again, he's incredibly productive. Again, his recruitment blew up in the winter, and Georgia started to make him a priority, and they pushed for a commitment, and they got it. So big time commitment. And again, not something that's surprising anyone, but here's what he had to say about why he committed to Georgia. He said, "I chose Georgia because of the people in that building, the amount of support that the players have from the coaches and the staff that all just want to see us succeed is insane. Coach Smart has a plan for his team and his players to develop them from the next level, and also to be better young men in a world that desperately needs better young men. Coach Smart made it clear that they are a top program who focuses on the development of their players to be better men and players on and off the field." I like what Coach Coley is that he's very transparent and didn't try to hide or move away from certain topics, even when we asked the hard questions. So basically, the Georgia staff was real with him. They pushed for him. They told him that they could develop him, and he decided to jump on board, stay in the state. He's a North Fulton kid at Cambridge High School, Milton, Alpharetta area. So if you're in that part of the state, make sure to go watch him play, because he is going to make a play. He's going to make a lot of plays. He was almost unstoppable last year. And I think he is probably the second best wide receiver in the state, in my opinion. He's ranked as the number 35 wide receiver prospect in the country, number 229 overall. And again, because of his skill set and everything that he brings to the table, I like him a little more than Georgia's other two wide receiver commitments. So big deal. Here's what Cambridge wide receivers coach Carl Vance had to say about Dandridge. He said, quote, "Craig's biggest strengths are his competitive toughness, understanding of defensive leverage, attacking the football, and his natural ability as a playmaker. Growing up as a Wildcat quarterback and additional wide receiver, Craig has always been placed in a playmaking role with a unique ability to make people miss in the open field, but really blossomed last year as his dedication to perfecting his craft as a wide receiver really evolved. He has a natural ability to attack the football in the air and pluck the ball effortlessly from defenders, stemming from his basketball background. We worked hard on his understanding of coverages and using leverage of the defensive backs to his advantage, such as attacking their blind spots and pre-snap space to create sudden explosive opportunities." And that's exactly right. When you watch him, he's so quick, he's so twitchy, he moves effortlessly. He is a natural pass catcher, catches the ball with his hands, now with his body. He jumps up and just kind of hangs in the air. He floats in the air. and can win those jump ball situations. But whether he's attacking defenses vertically or helping in the screen and short passing game, there's just so many ways he can make a play. He can play on the perimeter. He can line up in the slot. I mean, he is a guy who can do so much for you. But again, what I love about his game is his ability to just separate from defensive backs easily. He's a terrific route runner, might be the best route runner in the state of Georgia. Aaron Gregory, who's committed to Texas A&M, I still think he's probably the number one receiver in the state, but Craig Dandridge is not so far off of him because of how he runs routes. He's not just a guy who's faster and has great hands. The guy knows what he's doing. He is a gifted route runner and can make plays after the catch as well. He gets to his second gear in a hurry, reaches that top-notch speed, and just kind of glides away from defensive backs. So he is a big play machine, plays in an offense that really suits well for him and his skill set. They're going to get him the ball a ton next year. Here's more quotes from his wide receivers coach at Cambridge. He said, however, the main thing was his shift in mentality. Craig has attacked every opportunity and is the ultimate competitor. He wants to win more than anything and views each route as a personal opportunity to win a one-on-one matchup and ultimately contribute to his team's victory. Every play and every game matters to him so much that he takes it personally, and that directly influences his teammates. He's not nervous to go make a play, but rather calls for it and expects it from himself. His family has done a phenomenal job instilling discipline and positive values in him to lead to his success on the field. He's an academically strong student with a 3.5 GPA. He takes to coaching without hesitation and is determined to gain whatever advantage he can to add to his toolbox. He possesses elite athletic traits, but is willing to try new things and be humble enough to accept correction, and has really allowed him to thrive over the last 18 months. And, he's going to push his guys. That's what his coach was basically saying after that. You could read all of this and more and watch his highlights of him just straight dominating opposing defensive backs over on dawgpost.com. But listen, we told y'all Georgia was going to go on a massive run this week, and this is one that we've kind of tried to hold on to a little bit. I've been dropping hints, that this is a guy to definitely keep an eye on, an in-state guy that, again, quickly climbed Georgia's board more and more throughout the spring and into the summer. He took an official visit to Georgia earlier this summer. They set the bar, and today he made his commitment public to everyone, choosing Georgia over the likes of Georgia Tech, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Stanford, and a few others. But definitely a guy who had a true breakout junior season. I expect him to have an even bigger senior season this upcoming fall. And again, one of the better wide receivers really in the state and across the South. And again, the ranking is not going to have a ton of Georgia fans excited, but I don't think there's 34 wide receivers in the country better than him. I don't think there's 228 players in the country better than him. These outlets, they get these rankings going and they change them all the time. And I expect Craig Dandridge to move up and up in those 2026 rankings more and more, because the kid's an absolute baller. And he proved it in the 7-on-7 circuit this past year. At spring practice, he was just going nuts, right? If you watch him practice, if you watch him play, the guy definitely has enough talent to play not only at the SEC, but at a place like Georgia. So they took a bunch of really good wide receivers, 5 of them actually, in the last cycle. They've got 3 on board right now. None of them may have 5 stars next to their name, but these are kids that love Georgia and love to compete, love to work, love to get better. And that's what Craig Dandridge does. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He's a very mature kid, and he can ball. He can catch, he can run, he can get open. There's so much to like about his game. And again, this is their 5th commitment in a row, 5 consecutive days. Might see you talking tomorrow about another commitment on Friday. They could get one on Saturday. They could get one on Monday. So the Georgia recruiting train is not slowing down anytime soon. But today they have landed a wide receiver that I think a lot of Georgia fans should be excited about. Of course, you could read more about this for free over on dawgpost.com. Watch the highlights, grab some popcorn while you're at it, and just enjoy it, because it's several minutes of him just being a baller and a wide receiver that makes a lot of plays. So definitely a guy that Georgia fans need to be excited about. So make sure you're heading over to Dawg Post. Make sure you are still focused on this channel for the latest. We're dropping hints left and right on which guys might be leaning Georgia's way, might be committing to Georgia soon, and Craig Dandridge is the guy that we've talked a lot about. So again, if you're in the Milton, Alpharetta area, make sure you go watch this kid play. But before that, make sure you go to Dawg Post to read about him and watch his highlights from last season. Big time commitment for the Dogs. 4-star wide receiver Craig Dandridge jumping on board, giving Georgia their 3rd wide receiver commitment and their 5th commitment in the last 5 days. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you over on Dawg Post.